Morning, everyone. We are here at Mammoth Cave National Park in Edmondson, Kentucky. We are going to be doing a short little backpack loop. Should be about 10 miles, and we're going to go in early Saturday morning and come out early Sunday morning. So here's the trail. Sorry, it's got a lot of condensation built up on it. So we were parked here at the Maple Springs trailhead, and we're going to take the Buffalo Creek Trail in, and then we're going to come down to the Bend Trail, and then back up around the Sow Hollow. Keep going up to Sow Hollow until you get to Dry Prong, and then my campsite is Homestead. And that's about 7.9 miles, and then Sunday morning I'll come out of Homestead, and then back into Buffalo Creek, back to the truck. Should be pretty easy. So we are on the Buffalo Creek Trail right now. It's a little wet. It's been raining all morning, and right now it's a nice 54 degrees, and it's calling for potentially of a lot more rain tonight. So hopefully I can get to the camp a little earlier than I normally would, just to have it set up and beat the rain. It's supposed to start raining around 5 o'clock. So we'll see how this trail goes. It's a hiking trail, mountain bike trail, and a horse trail. So I expect it to eventually be pretty muddy. Just kind of show how wet this trail is. The beginning part, it's gravel, so that's not bad. It's actually a nice little warm up. But I don't think we'll have a shortage of water this weekend, which is a good thing. I've been on trails where I didn't take enough water and there wasn't water. But it's a pretty day. The trail's marked by these blue blazes. Probably can't see it on the camera just yet. It's right there on that tree. So it's pretty well marked. And the maps are actually really nice. We're about a mile in now. We'll just turned onto the Turnhole Trail. I will say it is a wet, muddy mess. Hopefully when we start climbing up some elevation, it's not as wet and muddy. I did not bring waterproof boots because the only pair of waterproof boots I have are big, heavy winter boots. And I just started going the ultralight path. Got a bunch of new gear before. Right now I have the Hyperlight 3400. I can't remember the model off the top of my head. I went from the Gregory Baltoro 95 to this pack. My last trip, which I didn't get to go at all last year due to COVID, and everything local was, you couldn't camp. Red River Gorge, Mammoth Cave, just about everything in Kentucky was closed off to backpacking. So the last trip I was on 2 years ago, my total pack weight was like 65 pounds. We did 8 miles, me and a buddy of mine. And by the time we were done, we both felt like we were gonna die. So I said that's the last time I'll ever do that. And I switched to more ultralight. And my trail weight walking out today was 21 pounds. So a significant difference. So now we're on the Sal Hollow Trail, and it's a lot more like being on a normal trail in the woods. And I think those first two trails, which is the Buffalo Bend Trail and the Turn Hollow Bend Trail, are both also service roads. Now that we're back here in the woods, it's still really muddy, but there's not as much standing water. I will say the trails are very well maintained, and the blue blazes is on every trail, so it's not trail specific. Every third one or so has actually got what trail you're on. It's got a little abbreviation, which is really nice. Something I wanted to point it out. So there's the blue blaze. You can't really see it on camera, but right there on that tree is a blue blaze. So for every blue blaze you come across, you can see the next blue blaze. And here's the one that here's a blaze I was talking about earlier. So it's got the Sal Hollow, you're at the 4 mile marker. And then just to head on, see if I can zoom in on it. There's the next blue blaze. So it's really nice. You won't get lost. So I've been walking on the trail been out here about 2 hours now. Came across this pretty cool little creek, and as I got closer to the creek, came across this little waterfall cave thing that was pretty neat, actually. That's probably one of the coolest things that I've seen since I started backpacking. So I had to stop for a little lunch break. It's 11:37 right now. Sitting in the Helinox Chair Zero. I know I'm going ultralight, but there's some comforts I just can't give up. But we are about 2.1 miles from the campsite. So that means we've gone 5.8 miles so far, which isn't too bad. That's what's throwing me off. There's a sign back there when I turned off the turn hole onto the Sal Hollow Trail. It said the campsite was 2.2 miles, but the map says it's 3.3. Well, that makes sense. We're enjoying some Uncrustables for lunch. But right now we're sitting at it's actually a hitching post for horses. We're sitting at a junction. And I told myself, the next thing that comes first, either noon, or this is the third one of these I've seen, or one of these little hitching post areas. And the hitching post is what came first. But just to show you, I don't know if you can really tell in the camera, but it's muddy. And that one creek crossing back there, there was just nowhere to cross that you weren't going to get your feet wet. And I managed to get my feet wet, but it's okay. Not that bad out here, and I'm wearing wool socks, so it's not cold. It's actually been a really nice day. I haven't seen anybody else out here. On the website, there was the Sal Hollow campsite was reserved. There's one that was, there's like two loops. There's an upper loop and a lower loop, and I'm doing the lower loop. There's a campsite on the upper loop, and then of course mine, which I'm staying at Homestead. I picked that one because it was the closest one to the truck, and it's supposed to be raining all morning. It's supposed to start raining this evening all the way up to like noon tomorrow. So I just wanted to be able to get up and 2 miles be back at the truck. So yeah, right about 2 miles, a little less than 2 miles. So, but I'm gonna finish up lunch and sit here and hang out for a little bit, let my legs rest, and get back on the trail. So, made it to the Homestead campsite. I did not video the dry prong trail at all. It was extremely muddy. Kind of show an example. Really narrow, really muddy, and I had to use my trekking poles the whole time. So, but I did notice one thing. The campsites are orange blazes for the trail markers. So I'm gonna get to camp. It is about 12:52 right now. This is a little small hike to the campsite. So I'm gonna get back here. I'm gonna set everything up and hang out for a while. So it's supposed to start raining around 7 o'clock still. So I want to be able to get to camp and hang out and wind the day down. All right, guys, made it to campsite. It's not too bad. It's got a little fire pit area. Then on the Mammoth Cave website, it says all campsites except for one of them that has water nearby. So I was like, great, I'll just pack in 1 liter of water and blah, blah, blah. Well, when I got to camp, I had about a half a liter of water left. So I went to go find the water source. I don't know if you can see it, but right, let's see, there, right down there is the creek. And that is probably a 300-foot hill that I just had to climb down and climb back up to get my water. Then on top of that, I go to make lunch, dinner, and realize I forgot my spoon. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I can probably use, I have a aluminum trekking or tent stake that I haven't ever used, just bought it. It's like, I'll just use it. So I was sitting there checking the weather, and the rain tonight has now turned into a thunderstorm with like a possibility of 2 inches of rain and lightning and so on and so forth. So I think I'm going to make the executive decision here to pack up and bust out the other 2 miles now and head home. I don't want to be, I'm not a big fan of lightning, so I don't want to be caught in the middle of a thunderstorm and lightning storm and something bad happen. All right, well, first trip in 2 years is a bust. No big deal. So I decided, since I'm gonna call it a day, I'm gonna enjoy a beer before I leave. So probably take about an hour or so to hour, maybe 2, to get back to the truck, and then we'll head home and enjoy the rest of the weekend with the family.